listen up, everyone. This goes for not just the panelists, not just the people in the chat room, and not just the people on Twitter. This goes for the whole world. Okay. If you were a wealthy citizen in the capital, would you rather use your money to sponsor tributes who are suffering or abstain from support?
I guess I'll bite first. That's a really... I can see abstaining because you don't want to support the games at all. But if I was wealthy... See, it's difficult, though, because if you sponsor suffering tributes, I mean, they're probably going to die anyway. I don't even know if I would watch the Hunger Games. I mean, I wouldn't, I don't think. It's hard for me... Like, I can't... Yeah, like, I can't get into that capital mindset, but I think I would probably... I would probably just abstain and just ignore it all as much as I could. What about you, Rebekah?
No, I'm a capital citizen, right? Right? I kind of zoned out for a second.
Yeah. Would you use your money to sponsor?
You see, let's just say you see Katniss or someone burning, like legs burnt, suffering, crying in like terrible agony.
Well,
and you could send in that healing bomb right now.
Well,
I'm
gonna posit this. I mean, our way of doing that now is voting in keeping favorite contestants on certain competition television shows, and I do that for my favorite show, my favorite competition show for So You Think You Could Dance. So if I have the time and the money, and I see a child being burned to death, and I can help them, even if I know that they may be dead in 2 days, I'd sponsor.
It would be tough for me because I know that I would feel the urge to sponsor them, but then I would feel like I was creating more entertainment somehow for the people who were watching and really into it. Like I'm keeping this person alive longer so that maybe something even worse can happen to him or her later on for the, entertainment of the Capitol. I don't know. It's tough. Courtney, what would you say?
You're a capital citizen, so you don't have that mindset.
I think I would actually abstain because I wouldn't want to put any more money into. But believe me, it's a really tough choice. Then again, it's easy for me to say that now, but then to be watching it on screen, how do you not do it? I compare it to that moment when, when you see this is a strange analogy, but when you see a baby that's crying or an animal that's whimpering, and ultimately if you give this animal or this baby what it needs, it's going to start what it wants. It's going to start crying 2 minutes later anyway. There's almost this feeling that, okay, you save this person in suffering, but all you've done is set this person up to then get killed in some other awful, brutal way, in a few minutes later. Unless you have a favorite. I guess if there's one person who you think is of higher moral character than the others. But how do you even want to get involved? So I don't know. I mean, I feel like every penny you're supporting is going to the Capitol, right? But then think of the agony that some people would be. It's a really hard choice.
It's just like if you teach a man to fish, he'll eat every day. But if you give a man a fish, he'll only eat for one day. Is that just sort of thing?
The only problem is, but if you give the man this fish, he'll eat that fish, but within the next 3 days, only one of the 24 people who have been given fish will be alive to catch any more fish.
All the dead children.
So
this is a really hard discussion because you don't know what your mindset is as a capital citizen, and I wonder if I abstain, if it's going to get noticed by authorities or even in social situations because everyone's talking about it and you don't, and that says something about you. It's really hard. I guess you really have to be strong and do one way or another, either abstain or I think I think they're both lose-lose situations, but you either abstain or you help someone who you think can win for that. And I know, but yeah, that's validated that, yeah, they're setting them up maybe to just die later. I don't know. Someone on Twitter is saying something about, giving them hope. Oh, Maisley Donner. I would support suffering tributes because although they're going to die, it would be nice if they got a present for hope.
Yeah, that's a really good.
And also, our good friend Gigi in the chat room made a great point. She says, okay, think about this. What if you were the one with burning legs? Wouldn't you do anything to get help from the Capitol? Would you really be caring about the symbolic reasoning behind the gift as long as you get it? And I think when you look at it that way, it makes me more inclined to want to get the gift.
That was going to be the answer. I was going to say, a teenager age from 12 to 16 or whatever, they're not really going to be thinking about the political implications. All they're going to care is somebody gave them some food, somebody gave them some medicine, somebody gave them water, somebody loves them just before they're going to die. And I would think that's what most of them would crave more than wanting to make a difference for later Hunger Games. I mean, the only people who are going to care like that are people like Katniss who come along once in a blue moon,
Yeah, this is a dark question.
Does anyone else have any thoughts? Like Perri, Natalie, any?
I'm definitely gonna sponsor them. I mean, even if I believe in the Hunger Games or not, it's not that person's responsibility, and I'm not gonna put them in more harm's way because of it.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. Plus, if you're like talking about contributing for a quarter quell, and there's a chance that you can fund like bread messages, then yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, I would totally participate.
So you can bake them yourself. Well, I mean, they were using the bread to send messages to them in the arena, so I would gladly sponsor one of those.
Crazy scenario, Adam. That's a really, really tough kind of moral quandary.
I know. Now I'm kind of ready to. Well, we'll hold off the others for a later show.